let's go ahead and let's hear the synopsis for The Dial of Destiny.
Daredevil archaeologist Indiana Jones races against time to retrieve a legendary dial that can change the course of history. Accompanied by his goddaughter, he soon finds himself squaring off against Jurgen Waller, a former Nazi who works for NASA.
Nazi! It's a Nazi!
Nazi.
All right, so listen.
This
movie, man. I think we have some differing opinions on a lot of different stuff here. I think, I'm not gonna lie, the more I need to watch this movie again. I say that every time we do these reviews because we have only seen it once because we do it the same weekend it comes out. I need to watch this movie again because looking back on it, I'm like, wow, there was some really good moments. And then there was also moments where it's like,
takes you out of it.
And looking back on it, the good moments are jumping out at me a little bit more than the bad moments. And we can just kind of go through that right now. So let's just start out with the opening. All right,
dude. Let's just say it.
Let's hear it,
Brayden. Best fucking opening in an Indiana Jones film.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Give a fuck. Get off of me,
bro. It's so good. And for the longest time, my favorite opening was the second. This for me is Temple of Doom. And don't get me wrong, the Indiana Jones movies have always been fire with the openings. I mean, you got like the first one, obviously the most iconic, with Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know what I mean? The snake, or was it the?
But dude, on when everyone's all dressed up nice and then they introduce you and they show around and stuff.
No, no, I'm talking about the first one.
No, my bad.
Yeah. But yes, that's why. Well, also like in the reason I
that
like
was
the
your
second
point
one,
that you're getting at. That was
that definitely was 100%. Yeah. So like like Raiders of the Ark, cool. You have like the little the ball.
We talked about that.
Yeah,
I think you just said it. The most iconic.
Right, and we'll get to that once we do all the rankings. We're going to rank all the movies. We'll dive in deeper, but I like that one. Then you have the second movie in Temple of Doom, which was my favorite going into this one, and that's the really cool Asia type setting. And I'm a sucker for that, bro. The cherry blossoms, you know what I mean? I feel like I was in like that John Wick sequence, you know what I mean? It was so dope, bro. I love that one. And then of course you have the third one with River Phoenix, which was so cool as young Indiana Jones, one of my favorite openings as well. Then you have the fourth one, which the whole atomic bomb thing, and then you get to this one.
Love that opening,
and
actually.
That's a really good opening. And then you have this one, which just somehow exceeds that. And I did not think that was possible.
It literally just felt like it felt like what we used to see, just finally with good CGI and graphics. It was just, they did it. You know what I mean? They did do it.
So yeah, speaking of CGI, so they do the de-aging thing in this. And like, it's
fucking weird, bro.
It's very weird. And it looked great for what they were doing because they didn't shy away from it. Let's just say that there was a lot of close-ups on.
I'm glad they didn't
Harrison
do
Ford.
It too long. I think if they did it any longer, it would have been bad. It would have been gross.
Like the whole movie.
They did it for like maybe like a sixth of the film, so it worked perfect for me. You know what I mean? And I looked at you, bro, and it like. As I finally I think that's why they cut it off so short. Because as I started to watch, like by the end of it, right as it was going away, I was like, yeah, it kind of looks like CGI. But like when I first saw it, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like what the hell, dude?
Yeah, it's solid definitely for what it is, but there are a lot of moments where you're like, like it looks like Play-Doh, like claymation, like the way his hair moves and stuff. Like it was a little rough. Also, his voice was just like his
weird.
It was just his 80-year-old voice. Like
voice, they did not de-age it at all. It sounded so weird.
Care.
I'm glad you thought the same
dude,
thing.
It was so funny, bro. So I just had crazy deja vu right now. But no, yeah, really trippy. Wait, no, sorry, we talked about that in this podcast. There was another flashback scene. Remember, and you mentioned it, or it was something like one movie that you watched in particular where it was like they did the de-aging and they didn't change the voice. And remember, it was like really, really noticeable. This one wasn't too bad. There's another one like that, bro. There's another one like that. And I forgot what movie we talked about it in, but it was one we reviewed, one of the early episodes. Yeah, I don't know. But no, it was solid. But like I said, there was a lot of moments. And then like especially the action sequences where he's moving around. It was a little rough, but
he had some Little Mermaid hair, and I was like,
yeah, that's what it was. Just the way it moved, it was so weird. And I think like, and that's actually one of my kind of cons with the opening. I love it to death. Don't get me wrong, but like, you're almost so focused on the de-aging that you're not paying attention to the storyline at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because for me, it's that one part where they capture him and they like make it the focus. Like when he's like chasing him on the motorcycle and he jumps on top of the train. And like I don't feel like I didn't feel as like super focused on it. But the moment they like take it off of his, like they want you to look at his de-aged face. Like that is the whole point of that shot. And then that whole scene of him like talking, like they want you to see exactly what, I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah. So like so like and like you said, as it went on, it just got a little worse and a little worse and a little worse. And you're like, all right, cool. And like you said, I think they got away from it at the perfect time. I think they did great.
Just in time.
But it had an Indiana Jones feel. Like that's my biggest that's another problem I have with this movie. Like the Steven Spielberg effect and feel wasn't necessarily there. We'll get to James Mangold in a little bit, the director. But I think Steven Spielberg, he had that kind of charm to these films, and it was missing that just a little bit. But in this opening scene, it felt like a Steven Spielberg Indiana Jones movie. So
sure,
fast paced.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
no,
dope.
for sure.
I really
for sure. Even going back to the university for a second, like that was kind of like it almost paid homage, but like, let's just move on. Let's keep going. Let's trek right now, man.
I feel you.
You got the opening of him in class, and you don't know any characters yet, and then they go to the moon, and then. Okay, hold on. Before we get anywhere, they introduced the villain in such a cool way, and I like how they did, where he got hit in the face at the beginning and he ends up coming back. Later on.
Dude,
that was pretty cool.
The villains overall, how they introduced them, and how the villains in this film,
amazing.
I love them. They're some of my favorites. They might even be my favorites.
No, dude, usually you always have at least one or two people in the group. You're like, just shut the fuck up, dude. Like, the main guy would blow your freaking head off.
Yeah.
But, like, all these guys, I was like, nah, he's going to turn on the dude, like, the head guy and blop him in the face, bro. Or I'm like, dude, this big guy is just going to go Hulk mode and snap everybody.
Yeah.
But they, like, stayed a unit. Nobody ever, like, derailed. You know what I mean?
Because it was for Hitler. It was for the Nazis. That was the big thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought that was interesting. Hold on, I'm trying to think of some other stuff too. I just want to make sure I'm thinking of the right movie. I think so. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I thought the main guy, what's his name? Mads Mikkelsen is like the main guy, and he's really cool. He's not really
phenomenal.
Menacing in any kind of way, in my opinion.
It's almost like he's a villain that doesn't have, like, he doesn't care about the hero. It's like, where like a lot of villains are like, oh, I want to take over the world, but really it feels like they just want to do something to fight the hero.
Right.
This guy wants nothing to do with anybody but literally just get this thing. Like, he does not care.
You're right. Yeah.
No, he literally even looks, that's because what I loved about his character, this is jumping super far ahead. I loved at the end where on the plane, he was like, we did it. We did it, Jones. We made it to 1935. We did it. We did it together in history. And I was like, he doesn't even think of this dude as his enemy right now. He is like literally telling Indiana Jones, we are comrades. We had just made history together.
Right.
Like he had, like, that's what I'm saying. Like you said, he's not menacing. He didn't want to hurt anyone really. He just wanted what he wanted,
100%.
I thought it was super cool. I thought it was a super cool character choice that they did right there.
Right. And like his side guys were kind of the villains.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
No, I thought the mustache guy was super menacing, bro. The guy just shooting everybody, bro, just went like, bah, bah, bah. I was like, God, man, it's crazy, man.
I was like, he's that one dude. I looked at the beginning and I was like, I fucking hate that guy, but that means like that's how you know I love someone in a movie.
I thought he was annoying
someone
at
makes
first.
Me say that,
right? And I thought he was annoying at first, and then like as the movie went on, he got more like I want to say more likable, but he became a better villain, if that makes sense. Like, yes, I don't know, but at first he was it was like, oh, okay, what are we doing here? And then once he started, because I feel
like they tend to have like those guys like go and like, boof boof, and then the minute they're behind closed, they're like, yeah, you saw how I shot that motherfucker. You know what I mean? He was like,
why'd you give him a country accent, bro?
I don't know, dude. Those are like the guys that come to my mind. But like, no, he killed him and he walked away, and he's like the same dude everywhere. Like, he's always like that. And I think it makes it more like redeemable.
Yeah, no, for sure. I really like that. And then I thought I thought the whole CIA thing at the beginning was interesting too. The one lady that was kind of the main one that was like actually in the CIA and then realizes that those guys are Nazis and kind of turns on her. I thought that was really interesting and almost in a negative sense. Like I wish we would have maybe dove into that a little bit more. Because I'm not gonna lie, this whole so the main what do you want to call it, device or whatever in this movie is the dial of destiny. Basically, it can kind of like basically messes with time and all. You can go into like these ripples and dimensions and like really trippy. I'm not the biggest fan of the actual device itself. It was cool. It was just a little too much for me. You know what I mean? For like being an Indiana Jones movie, even though, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull kind of knocked that down and was like aliens. You know what I mean? UFOs. Yeah. But like just the time travel thing was a little weird for me. But I'm just more of a simplistic guy. I don't like all the crazy stuff as it is. But my point though is like I would have been okay with getting rid of the Dial of Destiny thing and focusing on and Indiana Jones and that main lady, because she's a really good actress, kind of figuring out how the Nazis got into their little group, into the CIA. You know what I mean? Like that would have been really, really cool. Maybe diving into more of that storyline. But we didn't get it. It's kind of threw her off to the side. We didn't see her for the rest of the movie. And it was just kind of like a side thing. But I really would, and they focused on the Dial of Destiny. But I would have liked maybe seeing Indiana Jones team up with her and kind of figure out how they're, getting into the government. But we didn't go that route, which is fine. It's always gonna be in the back of my mind.
I know what you're talking about. It was like a waste of a subplot. Like and I actually really liked the plot of this film. I like you said, it is definitely out there. It reaches boundaries of like what's believable or not. But like the plot itself, like I thought the pacing was great. I thought the action scenes were great. Like it was good. That was the only point in the film where I was kind of like, why? You know what I mean? Like she seemed like an important person, and then they dished her off, and you almost felt like she was gonna like fake her death or something, or like something was gonna happen. And then we watched her die, and we were like,
yeah.
What?
Yep.
You know what I mean? I was like, what?
I thought she was coming. Yeah, I thought there's going to be something going on there. Maybe she would fake her death, come back, and then it just didn't happen. Because you didn't really see her fully die either. You know what I mean? That's what was weird. That's what really got me. I was like, okay, we're going somewhere with this. And then we just didn't do it.
You put so much emphasis on her, and then, like, for what?
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't like
was
that.
I don't know.
Very weird.
I don't know. That was the one weird thing that, like, story-wise, plot-wise, that stuck out. I'm glad you brought that up. It was just like
very strange.
Didn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But and then so okay. And then at that same kind of time they introduce Indiana Jones like goddaughter or whatever.
Dude, I'm saying here now, I cannot stand her character. The actress is a phenomenal actress. By the end of the movie, I actually decently liked her, but like her character is annoying. Like so the annoying. Character is annoying.
So annoying.
Like you think about it, like that's her godfather. She comes back, steals from him, and then like fucking scolds him like you were never here for me. What is a godfather?
Traps him in the thing, wants him to die to the Nazis.
Bro,
that's what I didn't understand.
Bro, literally tries to kill him. Sorry, Indy. Literally like scolds him at one point. Oh yeah, then what's a godfather? What do you mean? What the hell?
What do you mean by that?
What the hell, bro?
Yeah. No, like that's what got me. That's what got me.
Yeah, his son.
Yeah, right. And then like when you try to kill him, that's what got me. I was like, I understand.
Bro was trying to keep helping her the whole time.
Yeah.
It's just like at least with Mutt. Like, regardless if it was Indiana Jones' son, obviously we all knew the moment he walked on screen that was Indiana Jones' son.
Yeah.
But until you really knew, he wasn't annoying. And he wasn't trying to double-cross Indiana.
Right. Well, and he kind of did have that cocky attitude, but it was like, it felt like the character. This one almost felt forced, felt weird.
She was trying to be like Indiana Jones.
Right. And when you spit, and this is probably my biggest con with this entire film, you spend the entire second act and really the center portion of this movie building her character.
Building her, and then to
That's
just be
all
like...
they do.
To like... Bro, to like have her have no meaning by the end of it. I'm sorry.
Yes. What did she do?
She just, I don't know, makes Indiana Jones hate his life more.
It makes the viewers hate their life more. It's crazy, man. I don't know, man. And listen, I do like second act. There's some really good moments. There's a really good motorcycle chase sequence and stuff, but I don't know, just her character overall. And then the little kid that they have just felt
It's
like
I round.
yeah, just felt like a knockoff of Short Round.
Or
Like,
Short Round.
what are you doing? It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't really care. You didn't really build him up to be likable either. So it was like these two unlikable characters alongside Indiana Jones.
And that's the thing. At least with her, they tried to build him likable. Like the only point where you're like, oh, this kid actually gives a fuck is right at the end. He's like, "That's my friends. That's my friends." After he's fucking stolen someone's plane. Like, dude. Like every other point in the movie, he's like, "Oh, he's running the show now." Yeah, bro. Shut up. You're 12, dude. He's fucking ancient. I trust him over you. Bro, in this your own city, bro. He knew your own city better than you. Shut up.
That's true.
He said, "Shut up, kid."
He want to get gelato and walk around the city and get kidnapped and then pretty much ruin the entire process and get Indiana Jones captured.
Like, for
Just
real,
saying.
bro.
But I don't know.
At least with her, my problem is they have her at the end. It's like she does something important, and you know what I mean. I think Indiana Jones is like, it's that kind of that thing that he always does in every movie. Like even with the chalice in the third one, like how he almost died reaching for it, but he gave up at the end. It's the same type of thing. Like at the end of every movie, he kind of does that reach where he almost feeds into the bad guy attitude, and he's like, "Oh, but that is the power." Oh, and he's like, "Oh, I can change the fucking course of, history."
Right.
And then, she pulled him out. Regardless, like, I don't like it how it ended because personally, like, I was sitting there to myself and I was like, bro, if my goddaughter, who was a dickhead to me for the last few days, decked me in the face after meeting one of history's greatest creators, and I woke up back in my shitty apartment that smells like pizza, I'm fucking pissed. I'm pissed. I'm like, why did you cut me short, bro?
Yeah.
Why'd you cut me short, bro?
You're right.
I'd be so mad. Like, dude, I understand they should have just had Indiana Jones, like, have a big brain moment and be like, oh, wait, you're right. I'm going to fuck up the whole timeline.
Yeah.
Let's dip.
And,
have, like, a cool thing where they work together and, like, that gives the watch and shit more meaning. You know what I mean?
Well, let's talk about that final thing then while we're at it. I mean, that whole ending, it brings life once again, dude. That whole center for, like, number one, this movie's, like, 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's the longest Indiana Jones movie.
So long.
By far.
Dude,
cut this movie down 30 minutes.
Like, those movies can be so good, but I always find myself when it's over 2.5 hours, I'm always like this.
Yeah.
I'm like 2 hours. I'm always sitting here like,
are we
like
there yet?
Even if it's good, I'm just like, holy shit.
Yeah. No, I feel in this movie, when you spend like an hour and a half developing this character that you really don't care about, it's just like, and that's the risk you take, you know what I mean? And the writers knew this going into it, you know what I mean? Disney knew this, but like, that's the risk you take when you don't like a character that you focus heavily on. The audience is going to not really enjoy themselves, and that's kind of that's what found me in the middle of this movie. But anyway, after you get through the really rough middle, in my opinion, you get to a really cool ending where they go back in time. They try to go back to the 1930s. So then once again, I loved Mads Mikkelsen, his character, his whole like which I'm looking for.
He's like, he wants to kill Hitler. He's like, Hitler's the reason we lost the war.
Motive. That's the word I'm looking for.
His whole motive.
Yeah, trying to go back and trying to take over the world. Like, it's just so cool. You know what I mean?
Because he's like, what would have changed winning the war? And he was like, Hitler dying. Or like, Hitler. Like, he still wanted Hitler dead. He just wanted Hitler to die before they lost.
Right.
I loved that.
So cool.
That's where the maniacalness came from.
Yeah.
There's nothing about his presence that made him maniacal except for his brain. His brain was scary as fuck. Because you didn't know what he was thinking. And then he said things like that.
Right.
And I know the one part I told you about where he was like, the continental drift, and then he like sat there and you could like, he did such a good job putting that worry on his face. He was like, yeah. No, it
was wild. And then they go back to like the Crusades or whatever, dude, and like that was probably one of the coolest points. And then like and then just that whole sequence there with Indiana Jones, seeing like the thing that he always talked about. He always talked about that, you know what I mean, in previous movies, and that event and that historical event. You got to meet a historical figure. That was really cool to see. And see the joy on Indiana Jones, man, the character we actually all love, and just the whole little sequence that took place there. You know what I mean? The people the Roman whatever they are, thinking that they're the airplanes are like the dragons or whatever, you know what I mean? Like just stuff like that was really cool. And then also I was watching a breakdown of the movie yesterday. And they mentioned that remember when they find that first corpse in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, when they go into that little thing, they find the corpse or whatever. There's like drawings on the wall and stuff of the dragon with like the wings that are like airplanes and stuff, and like the watch that he gave him. That remember that
No
he gave
way.
the guy. Like there's
That's
little
cool.
nods. So in other words, at that point, history already took place. Does that make sense? Because when you go back in time, that means that it's present. It's really weird how it works. So it's really cool to see. So like, I always really, I don't know, I always like when movies do that and they're really consistent with their work and the writing's really good. But yeah, the whole sequence was good. So I liked the beginning, middle was rough, and then it goes back up at the end. But
because I was even gonna say about this middle part, like they had that cool auction section where I actually thought was really cool, and they made it really cheesy.
What
where
part?
they were like, Indiana and the Max guy, they showed up where she was like selling. It's like an auction for stolen items, and she was like 1,500, 1,600.
Yeah.
And it could have been something super cool where they're all trying to be discreet about it because they know like they all think they own it, and or they could even have like the head boss come out. Like we had that one guy, like the fucking long lost boyfriend. It was more of like drama than it was like exciting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like it was a missed opportunity. It wasn't bad. It was just a missed opportunity to do something a little cooler with that scene. Because like literally everybody turned a gun on, that was kind of funny when everyone turned a gun on Indiana Jones.
Kind of like the reverse of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah.
Yeah. But like up until that, like it just felt weird. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone's gonna pull out a gun. Like, how is he whipping the whole room out of nowhere? He's like, get back, get back. Get back. I'm like, they're not fucking dogs, dude. They're people.
Yeah.
And then they'll whip out gats on you, bro.
Yeah.
What can I say? You know what I mean? I think it could have been something cooler. Like maybe he was like, one dude stood up to him and he like took his gun and caught it. And then he was like, nah. Like, in like, home it. You know what I mean?
Right. Something. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I feel you.
The boyfriend was not enough for me.
I get it. I get that. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. It's definitely something that's kind of, in there that was a little strange. And there's moments like that, I'm trying to think of what else kind of bothered me, man. Trying to look.
Well, I have my overall like arcing big thing about this movie.
Go for that, man.
I think because I don't really have much bad like left to say, like nothing in a bad way. Like this, I think this movie is a good movie. It's weird because when you'll see the ranking, you'll see where it lists. I really don't think it's a bad movie. I love the actors. I actually really like the plot. It does get a little far-fetched, but when you think about what they did with the fourth one, like you said, isn't really that far-fetched. You know what I mean?
Right.
But dude, it just doesn't feel like an Indiana Jones movie. At least with like not like that. Like Indiana Jones doesn't like with how they focus so much on building his goddaughter. Like they just took so much like
it's like exactly what you're saying.
Prequel Indy, and then we get a glimpse of him and she's already there. And then we're focused on building her dumbass the whole time. And then we get to where they go into like the other dimension, and then it becomes about him again. Right. And it's just like, even with Mutt being the side character, like you never not once felt like, oh, when people saw Mutt trying to put on the hat at the end of the film, we were all like, take that shit off. This is Indiana. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was an Indiana Jones movie. Yeah. I feel like they really tried, like even with her walking away at the end with everybody, like they had the final shot on her, like, I don't know. They made it a lot about her. And I'm like, this is his last time playing the movie. Like, unless you're doing another one and she's freaking the next Indiana Jones, like, I don't know. I feel like you should have focused on the star more. Right.
No, I totally get it. Yeah, no, I think it's, a missed opportunity. And like you said, it doesn't really feel like an Indiana Jones movie in the sense of, here's my biggest thing. I think Indiana Jones is like almost like a quarter of like a Western movie, kind of. And I feel like that's what this movie was missing. Every other movie, and Kingdom of the Lost of the not the Lost Skull, Kingdom of the what's it called? Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. There it is. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That one even had less. Like it feels like they got almost less Western over the years, except for the third movie. And I feel like once you get away from that, you lose a little bit of Indiana Jones. And I feel like that's kind of what we saw here. We just lost a little bit of Indiana Jones in this because it didn't really have any Western material in it. And whenever you did, it was like in the opening scene. That's when you really, or opening sequence is when you really had it. And, and after that, it kind of just falls apart. And I do like this setting. I think it's well. I do like the characters. I like the returning characters. Oh, speaking of that, let's talk about the ending. I know you weren't a big fan of how Marion shows up at the end and they have that little moment. You go and talk about that first because I'm going to give my opinion after.
The reason I don't like it is because, like, where the fuck was she the whole movie? Why is he such a sad, mopey bitch the whole time? I'm sorry, I'm vulgar. Why is he a sad, mopey bitch the whole time? And then by the end of it, she just comes back and they're like, oh, Indy. No! You guys hated each other. What the fuck? Who is it? This little she-devil that just tried to kill this man?
Yeah.
Really, after she knocked him out, went and got his side piece and was like, yo, you need to get back. This guy was literally about to stay in fucking 800 BC because of your bitch ass. And then she was like, oh, are you serious? It was a good moment, but like, damn, bro. Like, They just kiss, and then it goes back to these dweebs running in the street. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Put it, like, have her give him the hat that was hanging up, because we just see it hanging up. Have her give it to him, and he, like, puts it in a suitcase, like, showing that it's closed. It's closed. It's done.
Right.
Instead,
right.
we just have them fall in love, and like, I wish they would have included her character more, because I don't know. I feel like she's a very important part of the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So why, like, mentioning her the whole time, and then just throwing in her for the last 5 minutes, knowing you could have put her in more, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe something to fight for. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it would have been like. Because Indiana Jones almost like, it seems like his motive for getting the dial is to almost like, and I know it doesn't seem like this, but like it's almost to prevent like Mutt dying or like him enlisting. Like that whole idea of like his son enlisting and their family breaking up. Like he wanted to go back to a world and like change. That's why at the end she was like, oh, you would have changed the universe. He was like, is that a bad thing? He wanted to change things so it would have been okay with them again. And so I like that she came back. But it's like, you have moments like that. She could have been there other times. There could have been other moments.
Yeah. No, I those moments I think are definitely needed in some aspect, but like I just don't know where you could have put them in. Like I don't.
Dude, honestly,
because
where
it's
the
so
CIA
fast.
lady went. Get ass out of here. No, I'm just kidding.
Really?
No. I'm making a joke because she has no relevance.
Sure. Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah. No, you're right. No, I thought you were talking about that sequence. Yeah, I think she just like it's such a fast paced movie. She wouldn't really have time to get in anyway. You know, which I think is why like you didn't have to. I don't know. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe don't kill off Shia LaBeouf's character.
Yeah,
and just put him in like Montana.
Yes.
Because that's the cause of all the problems here.
Yes, and because that's what it kind of seems like. You know what I mean? For me, I just feel like it almost takes not the importance away from it, but like that's what he was like. You're kind of sitting there with the whole movie, like, why the fuck is he doing all this? Like, what does he care about so much?
Yeah,
like, it's a relic. Let her sell it. Like, really, what do you care about?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And like, I feel like that could have been something that like they mentioned it a lot. Like, you understand, but it was never like the motive on his brain. Like, oh, I'm going back. I'm gonna repair my face.
Right. That's what I'm saying. What I mean? Yeah, if you're gonna have a big focus like that, make sure the audience knows. It's like they just didn't let the audience really know.
Because it's our profession that we're grade A detectives in this. This is our profession.
It's what we do, man. No, yeah, I didn't like that. I agree. The motive was very weird. I thought that was maybe just me. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Maybe I missed something after all the face CGI at the beginning. The motive was very weird, and because we were talking about that throughout the movie too. We were looking over at each other, saying, "Why doesn't he just leave? Just go home."
There's no motive. And it's like, that's the motive, but he doesn't act like that's his motive.
You're right. And yeah, 100%. The signs don't really point toward it with his body language and what he's doing. And That just really bothered me. But I did overall like the end with Marion. I thought that moment was very sweet. It was really good to see. I'm not gonna lie, I really, really like that ending. But I do agree.
You're right with what you said. The whole like the here. It pays
Yeah.
homage. It's like a nice way to wrap it up.
Right. It's fan service, but it didn't feel like fan service in a terrible way. Like sometimes
You're
like
right.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, dude. Oh my god, the amount of fan service they throw in that movie and doesn't really land. That's a problem.
Yeah.
But in this movie, it worked a little bit. There was some cringy moments, like when he goes up with the thing and they turn and the guns pointed at him, and that was a little cringy. But I thought this moment at the end,
though.
yeah, no, like you said, it's like a good cringe. You know what I mean? You're like, but okay, it's a little warm for you, But I think that moment with Marion was very sweet, and I think it was a really good moment. I'm glad they threw that in there, and it's really.
I'm glad she made the cameo because I would have liked it. I almost would have made it more memorable if Shia could have been there in that last shot too, like, or like you said, like a Montana thing. You know what I mean? And she's got a card from him or something.
Right.
Something like I don't know, like they made the family back together. Then it would have been like
Right.
I guess the family was back together. That's why I do like it. You know what I mean?
Right. And it's not like this movie took place over like a span of like a month. You know what I mean? Or even some other Indiana Jones movies really took place over time. This one was pretty fast paced. And like I said, there's no way that Shia LaBeouf's character would have been able to get to him, or there's no way that Marion would have got to him. So like we were talking about earlier, just don't kill him off. Don't do any of that.
Join the service. They were archaeologists.
He wanted to be an archaeologist.
So like that's what have them die, at least make it make sense. Where's the plane?
Make him fall off a boulder or something, man.
Yeah, where's the plane?
Where's the plane, man? Where's the plane?
Man?
I don't know. We got abducted by aliens. I don't know. Do something. You know what I mean? I just not just enlisting. I agree. That was just very weird to me. But and then last but not least, man, we never talked about it, but James Mangold as the director did a really good job. I really enjoy his work.
Really did.
And this the cinematography as well, but the directing and the direction that he took with a lot of these characters and just his setup with the story and editing and pacing and everything was pretty well done.
When you look
he's a solid director.
When you look at people who have directed like the newer Star Wars, and then you go and look at him, how he's done like with taking it from like leaving it off like as a bigger name director and like company behind it, like he's done a pretty good job. Like they fucked up Star Wars. He's done good with it. Like for what they gave him, that movie was really great.
Yeah.
Like really great directed. The shots were great.
Well, also just kind of like filling the shoes of Steven Spielberg is a very big step. That's the best director of all time. You know what I mean? There's a lot there, and then he did a great job, especially that opening scene. That opening sequence was really well done. I loved it. So I love James Mangold, and he's kind of still on the rise a little bit, even though he's been around for a while.
I was telling you about it.
Yeah, new Star Wars. Yes, sir. Should be interesting, man.
Yes, sir.
And that should get you more hype because you're like, okay, you can actually do some stuff, baby.
Yes.
I've never seen Star Wars, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm still. They should have brought back Short Round, bro. Had a Short Round movie. I'm still.
Bro, I've been saying, why was he not in the film? You brought Solo back, bro.
You know why?
Short Round, bro.
You know what? And it's because I didn't even think about that, and then I was watching. I think it might have been. Who was it, man? I watched like 2 reviews, on this movie, and someone brought it up, dude. And I was like, that would have been amazing. You bring back. You know why they didn't do it? Because this was before everywhere, everything all at once, or whatever it is, everywhere, all at once. So like that was before that. Think about it. He didn't act for 20 years or whatever it was. So they just didn't really think about it. And I guarantee they're pissed right now. I guarantee it, bro. I already know it, man. I already know it because that would have brought in so much money.
Yeah.
Oh. Dude, and it would have been great. I think it would have been a better story, personally, bro. Just bring back Short. It was so cool.
Have him have his sidekick, and we're gonna have this new shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That'd have been great. But yeah, overall though, man, I enjoyed it. So we'll go ahead and we'll do the rating or the ranking now. Unless do you have anything else you want to say about it?
Dun, 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 dun. No, I don't.
Yeah, speaking of that, the score was beautiful, by the way.
Score is beautiful as always.
John Williams, baby.
Yeah, no, I think it ended very, very nice. I think it was a very happy ending.
Yes, sir. All right, let's go ahead and let's do our rating for it, man. I'll go first. I think you did it last time, right? Or did I do it last time? Oh my god. I guess I'll go first.
Right. You're asking the wrong guy.
Oh no, I think you went first because remember we had like two very different for Asteroid City. You were a little higher than me. I was kind of low.
Oh yeah.
And so you go first then because I went first last time.
I am going to give this movie a 7.9.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yep.
There you go. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know. I still don't even know because
I didn't know what I was gonna do.
Yeah, because I don't know what I'd rate the other Indiana Jones.
I don't
movies.
either, and
So
that's where I was
weird.
trying to base it.
Yeah.
And I almost was gonna be in the 80s, and I was like, this movie.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm looking at all of them, it's a 7.9. 7.9.
Yeah.
I'm a big 2-number guy because it can fluctuate on the day. 79.80.
Yeah, I feel that. I think I'm gonna stick at a solid 7. I'll go like a 7.6. I like it. It's just that middle part is just so rough for me. It's just all character development. And don't get me wrong, I should like listen. I'll go back. I'll rewatch this movie. I'll go through all the movies again, binge them, and my opinion might change a little bit. But I'm gonna go 7.6. 7.6. I think there's a lot of good moments, but there's also a lot of moments where I'm sitting there like 7.6, baby. All right, let's go. Before we're actually in this video, I'm talking about the box office real quick for everybody watching the review. So Dial of Destiny, man, dude, the 8th biggest budget of all time for a movie, which is just crazy to me.
What?
Yeah, it was at $294.7 million for their budget, which is wild, dude. That's a big budget. Maybe for that last final sequence.
No, dude, it was the entire beginning.
Oh, you're right, dude. The face CGI. That's what it is, man. Yeah, bro, and they couldn't do the voice changer because that would have brought up to 300 million. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So they had to sit under.
That's why they settled.
That's what I'm saying, man. But yeah, no. So that's a huge budget. 8th of all time is crazy to me. Domestically, because this is opening weekend, made 82 million. Worldwide, 152 million. So they should cross that easily. They had a lot of marketing for it, so I'm assuming if they reach about 350 million, they should be okay. I did not expect that budget to be that much, though. It's crazy that they even put that much money into it. Because the Indiana Jones movies, they've made a good amount of money, but not anything crazy. So that's that's a wild, especially after the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I was like, that's a little ballsy, man. It's a little crazy.
Like, this is a good story, dude.
Yeah, hey, they went crazy with it, man. But yeah, so there you go. So that's the box office for that. Everybody watching the review on YouTube, I love y'all, man. Give this video a like.
We love you. We appreciate you.
Subscribe if you want more stuff like this. Comment down below
here first
what you think about the movie, baby.